This podcast is brought to you by San Diego County Toyota dealers. We've got what it takes. The latest Mexican food. Fix Auto. And Corky's Pest Control. Welcome to another San Diego Prep Insider podcast. Tommy and Aaron here.
What the
Christian,
the yin to my yang?
we can't find him. I know. He will be joining us remotely, so don't worry. You'll still get his game picks and his
Ebony and Ivory is not canceled. Just we're here.
The show must go on. Yes, it must go on. And since it must go on, we'll start with what we always start with. It's our top 10, Aaron. Who do you have?
Top 10 this week for me was, again, Saints at number 1, Torrey at 2, Foothills at 3. Vista now back in 4th place after their win over Mission Hills. Mission Hills at 5. We've got La Jolla Country Day at 6, Modern Day Catholic at 7, Helix at 8, and in the biggest cluster job of all time, I ended up picking Rancho Bernardo at 9 and Poway at 10, even though Poway lost to Westview, which is a pretty bad loss, but everybody in that 9 through 15 range has lost in the last week and a half. It was absolutely a mess. So, my apologies to the other teams that I did not have in my top 10.
So the San Diego Prep Insider staff had a very similar problem. We ended up pretty much the same teams, though. And at number 10, we have LCC, another one of the teams with that cluster of 15 that you're talking about. 9 was Poway. 8, La Jolla Country Day back in our top 10. Congratulations, Tories. Number 7, Modern Day Catholic. 6, Mission Hills. 5, Vista. 4, Helix. 3, Foothills Christian. 2, Torrey Pines. And number 1, Saints. And I guess still at number 1 for us. So before we keep it going to our dunker dish, or game balls, we got to go to Sarah to figure out her top 10 and her game balls. Sarah, take it away.
Do it.
Hey guys, we're going to dive right into it. Things are really heating up in some of the leagues, so it should create quite an exciting final stretch of the regular season. But we're going to get right to it as we usually do with the top 10. Things are a little bit different this week, but at number 10, you'll see we have Modern Day Catholic, 9, Rancho Bernardo, 8, Poway, 7, Scripps Ranch, Sarah at number 6. They're in the top 10 now after their big 53-52 win against Mount Miguel. They're on an 11-game winning streak right now. After last night's W over OLP, they beat them 73-27. At 5, you'll see we have La Costa Canyon. 4, La Jolla Country Day, Alasia Styles. We've talked about her before, but she had a pair of double-doubles, helping the squad to 2 wins. She had 29 points and 10 rebounds in the victory over Rock Academy, and then she had 20 points and 15 rebounds in the win over Horizon. And last night, they beat Santa Fe Christian 64-36. 3, you'll see we have Eastlake. 2, Mission Hills. They've had 2 league wins, both by more than 60 points, so they're not going anywhere. Number 1, we still have Bishops. They recently had a dominant performance against Lincoln, and this was the game that Destiny Littleton, yes, we've talked about her before, scored her 4,000th point. So that's a huge deal, and also she's really banged up right now, so that says a lot about the athlete that she is. That's this week's top 10, so we're going to move on now to game balls. First game ball goes to Larissa Sever, guard for Sarah. She's averaging 16.3 points per game, and last night she put up 24 points in their win over OLP. Congratulations to her. Second game ball goes to Satara Bates from Mount Miguel. She had 36 points on Friday night, and she's the team's leading scorer. That's a big accomplishment. So congratulations to both of those ladies. I'm going to toss it back over to you guys now.
All right, we're back to the boys now.
All right.
Game balls, Aaron, who do you have?
All right, so game balls for this week. A freshman, actually, kind of a first for me other than Chibuzo Agbo. Jalen Nelson of Sage Creek with 13 points and a nice win for Sage Creek over San Diego Academy last night. Also want to give a pair of game balls to Army-Navy duo JC Canajuate and Richard Polanco Antigua. The Dominican duo scored 64 combined points in Army-Navy's loss, 76-74 loss to Horizon. So when you score 32 apiece, you deserve a game ball from your man full time. Finally, I'm going to give a game ball to Nikyle Cross of Bishops, who had a double-double in Bishops throttling Foothill of Francis Parker last Friday in a game that was the exact opposite of which I predicted. I said it was going to be a blowout for Francis Parker. Not so much.
We'll still blow out. So any more game balls?
Want to give a game ball out to my man Boogie Ellis. Rajon Boogie Ellis with 35 points in a 1-point heartbreaking loss to Cathedral Catholic, in which coach's son, Dallas Cunningham, 3 at the buzzer. But Boogie Ellis with 35, got to give him a game ball for that.
Yeah, and then just adding on to that, we will be at Mission Bay on Friday. So please, if you're a Buccaneer fan, get out there. Be loud, be proud. We'll get you on Fox Sports San Diego. And you were talking about a pair of game balls earlier. A pair of game balls going out to Michael Diaz.
That was your game ball, though. You said you were going to give it to him.
I know, I am. But I'm just saying.
We got to give
more than one.
Yes.
2 game balls for Michael Diaz.
No, we need 200,000 game balls for Michael Diaz. You got to give him a lot of credit stepping up to the plate. You know, the kids always talk about shooting your shot. Well, Michael Diaz shot his shot trying to get a date with Nikki Weathers from the USC volleyball team who, you know, wants to take her to prom. She said it's going to take 200,000 retweets. My man Michael Diaz has 73,000 and counting.
We'll have more by the time we're done with this podcast.
Pretty sure. And I know prom is probably a couple months away, so Nikki, hope you're looking for a dress.
Yeah, Nikki, get shopping for the dress. We're going to make sure, Michael, you're going to get to that 200. That was a very aggressive number by her, by the way. Is that a normal number of retweets to be requested for?
I've seen professors say, you know, you get 10,000, you know, you don't have to take the final. I mean, she's a volleyball player at a high-profile program. Her brother plays in NFL. She's the younger sister of NFL tight end Mercedes Lewis. I'm thinking 200,000 is probably somewhere in the ballpark.
And she's a fantastic volleyball player. She jumps out of the gym. I mean,
I heard she was all conference. I guess when she was in Cal State Fullerton, she was all Big West freshman team. I mean, so she's got the bona fides in the sport. You know, so what the hell?
All right, so Michael, we're going to make sure you get there. We're going to put up the information, how to find his Twitter. Go ahead and retweet that. All right, now we'll send it for the first time to Christian. He's working remotely today. Let's see who his game balls were this week.
Hey guys, sorry I couldn't be with you. I'm gonna make this quick. I got Westview RB going on behind me. We're gonna get to some game balls though. Let's give one out to Nashone Carter at Christian for some big points and big wins for him. Next one goes to Coronado, Topping Point Loma. Huge rivalry win there for the Islanders. Third one, let's give one out to Granite Hills, Eagles flying high, scoring a lot of points this last week, some huge wins for them. Finally, let's give a game ball out to the whole team at Crawford. Colts started off a little slow. They've been real hot the last 2 weeks, playing some huge games. That does it for my game balls. I'm gonna go check in with you guys in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Christian. We're coming back now, and now I get to be part of the debate because Christian's not here for Dunk or Dish. So first question, basketball currently single elimination format for the playoffs. Do you think, or here's the Dunk or Dish, basketball should switch to double elimination?
I'm dishing this one. There's already too much basketball played as it is. I'm trying to get to AAU season as soon as possible. No, actually, I'm going to dish this. And, you know, just from a player safety perspective, I think, you know, kids have played a 28 to 30 game regular season. You know, adding the number of games that they're going to play in a playoff, I think, is just a little bit too much. I mean, and I think it also, you know, it means something if you can win and survive in advance. It's just like the NCAA tournament. I mean, there's no consolation bracket, you know, for their 68-team tournament. You know, you win, you keep moving on. You lose, you go home. So it means that every moment that you're on the court during the playoffs, it counts. So I'm going to pass on this one.
All right, I'm gonna dunk it, but like a 10 at a dunk. I think less teams in the playoffs, and then let them play a little bit more games.
Okay.
So it would end up being similar to like 6 teams.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, but I just think it's a little brutal. I guess NCAA does it like that, but I mean NBA does a series, and I have a baseball. In order to combat the fact that you can't do a series in high school, they do the double elimination. I kind of like double elimination formula, but we'll see.
I like series too. I mean, if you had 8 teams like the Open Division, and you know it was a best of 3 series, moving on.
Hey, you were just complaining about too many games.
That's way too many games. But I would say if you shorten the regular season, put the top 8 teams, and then had it so it was the same amount of games. But, you know, you have the excitement of like that 3-game elimination. I mean, that would be cool, but I'm still going to dish it.
Okay, so for the first time ever, we're going to go out of the county for this next Dunk or Dish because we should. It's national news. LaMelo Ball scoring 92 points this week in a basketball game. Dunk or Dish, the way that Chino Hills plays basketball is bad for high school athletes.
I have to dunk this one. I mean, it's fun to watch them play when they are dialed in against really good teams. Like when they played Oak Hill Academy and they lost 96-91. I mean, when they had their system running and they actually, sat down, played defense, and they were still able to do what they normally do, it was fun to watch. But when you start, talking about just the up and down, the very Grinnell style, a lot of people don't know about Grinnell. It's a Division III school out in Iowa, and they play a very similar system where it's basically fast breaks, or as the kids call it, cherry picking on offense. You put a lot of pressure on the front line on defense, but you're going to give up layups on the other side if they get by it, just so that you can get down and shoot threes on the other end. I think at some point, you stray so far from the fundamentals of basketball. Kids that aren't as gifted as LaMelo Ball, as Onyanwu, and other kids, that play for Chino Hills, who are Division I prospects, kids who aren't that talented see this and think, well, if I do this too, I'm going to be a Division I player, and it just doesn't work like that. You skip so many developmental steps that it can be problematic. So, is it a nice story for what they're doing and what they've accomplished? Sure. Is it something I would like to see replicated all across basketball? Not at all. No.
Yeah, and I kind of go back and forth. And this kind of reminds me a little bit when spread offense became a thing, and everyone's like, "That's not football," but now it's all it is. But I don't necessarily like this. The only thing that I'm okay with is he did when LaMelo when he tweeted out about the 92 points. There is a young lady on the dance team who has heart condition, so they dedicated the game to her. So if it was to raise awareness for her, that's fine. But this is something they do all the time, and fouling so that he could get more possessions and stuff. I don't like that necessarily. Just win and walk off the court. You don't need 41 points in the fourth quarter. Anyway, that's here nor there. We're going to go to our game picks now, starting with a game from Friday. It is going to be Sweetwater traveling to Bonita Vista. I will take Bonita Vista, the home team. What do you think, Aaron?
I'm going to take Sweetwater on this one. I think these are two teams who really need wins in this league. Sweetwater's been a middle of the pack team, and Bonita Vista has kind of been on the bottom end of that conference. They both got very talented individual players. Avon Villagracia and Neil Ryan Panginelin from Sweetwater. And then Bonita Vista, Sage Crawford. You've got Anthony Mendoza and Taylor Nelson, who all do a really good job. But I like Sweetwater's pace in this game, being able to speed Bonita Vista up a little bit, and their ability to pressure ball handlers is really going to pay dividends. So I'm going to take the Red Devils.
All right, Christian, sending it out to you. Who do you have?
All right, guys, I'm very stoked for this set of games we got to pick. I can't really hear myself over the band, so I got to refer to my notes here. First one, I'm going to take Bonita Vista. I love Sage. I love his vertical jump and his dunks that he's submitted to us, but I'll go with the Barons on this one.
All right, next game, also Friday. Steele Canyon going to West Hills.
Ooh.
Whenever it's close, take the home team, West Hills.
I'm going to take West Hills, too. Actually, they've righted the ship. At the beginning of the year, they were in my top 25, and then they played a really tough schedule at the beginning of the year and didn't get any of those quality wins. But now that they're back in league, they're second place. Steele Canyon, is behind them in the standings, and I just feel like, again, the home crowd, playing better. Cameron Barry and Marquel Cool are very talented guards, going against a really talented guard in Gage Sanders, but I'm still going to pick West Hills.
All right, Christian, to West Hills. What do you think?
All right, our next one. I got to go with Steele Canyon on this one. I love Gage Sanders and what he brings to the table, so go Steele Canyon.
Third game from Friday. Mount Miguel going to Granite Hills. I'm going to be boring. I'm going to pick the home team again. I'm going to take Granite Hills, my third home team this week. What do you think, Aaron?
Man, this one's going to be tough. This one actually will decide the winner of the Grossmont Valley League. It's either going to be Granite Hills outright, or it's going to be a share of the title between Mount Miguel and Granite Hills. I'm going with Granite. They were able to get Mount Miguel at Mount Miguel by 2 a couple of weeks ago. So usually if you win on the road, you're going to do better at home. I like Ryan Kelly, Cameron Spitzer, that duo, and I think they just get that outright title that eluded them last year. So I'm going to go with Granite Hills.
All right, both of us with the Eagles. Christian, agree or disagree?
This one, guys, great East County matchup. I'm going to go with Granite Hills.
All right, now pair of games from Saturday. First one is RB going to Torrey Pines. I can't do it. I want to do it. I can't do it. I'm going to take the home team for a fourth time. Take Torrey Pines. I really want to, but I can't take RB in this one.
I can't either. Torrey Pines is playing really high-level basketball right now. In the fourth quarter, they absolutely ran away with a game against Canyon Crest, who beat Rancho Bernardo a couple of weeks ago. Now, RB obviously is a different team now that they've got Knox Winkler back in the fold. This is a kid that didn't play all year, one of the top shooters in the county. He provides a different dynamic than teams have dealt with up until this point playing Rancho Bernardo. With that said, that front line of Jake Gilliam and Ethan Esposito they have just improved game after game after game. And while you add a kid like Knox Winkler, you do not add a 6'7" or 6'8" kid to counteract what's going on inside. Rancho Bernardo, for all of its strengths, is still a really undersized team. I'm picking the Falcons.
All right, Christian. 2 Torrey Pines Falcons right here. What do you think?
So I'm looking at RB behind me right now. We'll get a little bit of a scouting report on them, but I still think that Torrey Pines, until we see them do anything other than win, you got to go with the Falcons. Hashtag Falcons win.
Last game, Scripps Ranch, going to Valhalla. I like Valhalla. I like Malik Shaw in the middle. I'm going to take the Norsemen. I got to see them play against Helix. It was a tough matchup, obviously, but Malik kind of held us. He didn't hold, he played as good as he could against Miles Norris, or as good as I've seen anyone else play him. So I'm going to take Valhalla. What do you think?
Man, this one's tough. I'm going to pick Valhalla. Scripps Ranch, great story this year. Batre Kanju done an excellent job. Mea culpa to me, I didn't have him in my top 50 prospects for the senior class, and he's definitely made me a believer this year. But they've struggled in some of these non-league games. I mean, they were riding high in the Eastern League, and then they went to Mira Mesa, and who's playing in the Western League, and lost the game in Mira Mesa, which was just kind of unacceptable. Now Valhalla is a lot better than Mira Mesa. You mentioned Malik Shaw. Kai Kamaki is a really solid point guard. And then they've got some young kids too, Evan O'Neill, Ramsey, Sultan, that we've talked about before. I mean, this is a very capable Valhalla team. And this will be a very good win for them, going into the playoffs. So I'm gonna pick the Norsemen. Go orange. Go orange.
Go orange. All right, cool. All right, that's it. That's our game balls, game picks, top 10, whatever, the whole deal. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
All right. Well, I just want to thank everybody for their well wishes and everything. My son and I were involved in a pretty serious car accident over the weekend. No worse from the wear. I'm right here. I'm alive. My neck, my back, no. But I thank everybody, the San Diego basketball community for reaching out to us. We're just happy to be alive.
And one more final thing: go find Michael Diaz on Twitter and hit that retweet button as many times as possible.
Team 03.
We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.